Good afternoon, everyone.
Good.
Much better. Much better. Big round of applause for Alex for putting this event on again. Thank you all. So, to help with that, I've brought my esteemed colleague along. You can find out more about us elsewhere, I'm sure.
That's him. This is me.
Handsome, have you heard us present before?
No.
Ooh, it's like bride and groom, isn't it? Right. So what we're going to talk to you two things. First of all is about Atlantis USX and HyperScale. Hands up if you've heard of either one of those things.
What?
Yes.
Atlantis USX or HyperScale. Hands up if you've heard either one of those things. No, Brian still no, despite hey no. And then we're going to show you some demos because Atlantis USX or HyperScale not only runs on ESX but it also runs on Zen server.
And we've got some great videos that he's put together showing some very cool stuff.
Yeah, so we're going to do a little bit of talk and then videos, because I've learned from great people, don't try and do shit live, it all goes horribly wrong. You haven't got a mouse there. I will have a mouse. So without any further ado, Jim, take it away.
Andy's videos are in quite high resolution. This projector is quite low resolution, so that actually still may go tits up. Alright? This has been all over Synergy, all over Twitter. If you haven't already signed up to the Synergy user group community, get your arse in gear, get onto the website, log in, etc, etc.
Well, all of the GeekSpeak live sessions were recorded and will be put on that site, yes? When will that be?
Shortly. Yeah.
Shortly. It's on the road. It's on the road. Within the year, I believe, is the standard civics expression for shit that will happen soon. All right then. But do sign up, do connect with your peers, not only at events like this, but
you're making Laura panic.
She's pregnant. That's right.
So for the first time, the GeekSpeak stuff's been recorded, and it's pretty amazing that all that excellent content is now being preserved forever for all of us and the rest of the people in internet land.
I'm a little scared now.
No, it's fine. Honestly, we won't take the piss or anything if you get it wrong.
Excuse me?
Atlantis HyperScale program. HyperScale is basically USX, but in a pre-configured box. Now, historically, Atlantis has been really, really good at extremely large enterprise, where you need to be able to shape and mold and configure the software to the exact specifications of the enterprise needs.
At the same time, we were very much liked by smaller businesses, but what they didn't like was that it didn't necessarily always come in a box that they could easily size up. Yeah, they had to do a bit of sizing themselves. They felt it would be easier if it just arrived.
I was going to cover that, but that's fine.
All right then. We should be first.
So what is unique about this kind of turnkey solution from Atlantis is that you get a choice of hardware. Right now, it's HP, Cisco, Lenovo, or Supermicro. Now, there is one large vendor missing on there, which is Dell's. I was just thinking, how is this being recorded?
Red lights on, dude.
Yeah, lights on, dude. Lights on, trousers.
We are trying to improve our relationship with Dell, and that is, we are getting there slowly. So I would expect Dell to appear on this in a roadmap way. Right. Technical details. Okay. So, 100% software-defined storage. I like the fact that we're telling you about hardware, but we're definitely still all software. All flash. I was talking about USX here. That's HyperScale. This is USX. Wrong thing.
That's why it didn't make sense when you were reading it out.
Yeah.
Yep.
I realised that. All right, let me ignore that last 10 seconds. We're going to start on this slide again.
Take it out.
Yeah.
Just edit.
Atlantis USX, as I was saying, that is the software product we do that will do hybrid. It will accelerate sounds. It will take local storage, no matter what that local storage is, whether it's SSD or disk, aggregate that and create shared storage with cool data services like deduplication, inline deduplication on top of it. That we've been selling for ages. It all works very well. But as Andy said, it was decided that it would be advantageous for us to be able to just rock up somewhere with a box, stick it in and say, there you go, there's all this cool stuff. Hence Atlantis HyperScale. which has got the best bezel ever. That's the first thing. First takeaway: cool bezel.
Does it have lights that actually
It does.
blink?
Yes, cool red lights.
Wow.
Is excellent. Yeah.
Hey.
On the demo one, we powered that with batteries in it. We took all the drive bays out, put some batteries in it so the front would light up. Very, very quick to install and configure. All flash. Now, but that's why all flash. Why not a combination of flash and disk to do the traditional performance and capacity play? Our inline deduplication is so good. We're getting about 75% dedupe on heterogeneous workloads, which means that we can turn what was around 3 terabytes of flash in a local node, or local 4 nodes, in the cheapest one, the smallest one, to 12 terabytes usable. So it's the dedupe and how good that is, which means that we can go all flash. And if you've got a choice to go all flash nowadays, well, why wouldn't you, right? So, as I say, 12 or is the lowest price. You can do 24, available vSphere or Zen server. We've already covered this, fine. The guts of these, even though they're different server configurations and different vendors, is as close to each other as we could possibly get it. So, RAM, CPU, even down to the make of the SSDs in them all. Because they're all, even though they're all vendor supplied, they're all the same in size, right? That means that you will actually get consistent, equal performance across all 4 hardware vendors, so we can guarantee in a generic way, and we can also, it saves us time because we can do all the installs and all the configuration the same for all 4 hardware platforms. Memory on a single node for the 12 terabyte can be, that's going to be really too small for like you to read. 256 or 384 gig, 20 usable cores, not including hyperthreading, 2 CPUs, and total effective flash capacity 12 terabytes. That's the smallest one. The medium one is exactly the same, apart from more RAM and larger SSDs. The large one is roadmap. But very soon roadmap, because once we've got the other stuff, it's fairly simple just to expand the installers out. What kind of performance are you going to get from this appliance? 160,000 IOPS. And we'll deliver that at less than a millisecond of latency. This is mainly due to the nice CPUs with respect to the BOM. One of the good things about doing the bill of materials for these is that we can take all that we've learned in terms of projects, in terms of sizing, in terms of configuration, in terms of performance requirements. We can stick all that knowledge that is in my head and is Andy's head and some other people's heads, and we can effectively give that to you without you having to worry about it, right? Without anybody having to read an admin guide or look everything up. This workload, 50% read, 50% write. Hello, Helga.
Yeah, please continue. Finish the sentence first.
Okay. We never, because I would moan quite a lot, do 100% read iometer testing, because that is bullshit. So all of our iometer testing is all as real world as you can get with a simulated workload. Yeah? So it's 80% random, and this was on a CX12. So lots of good performance. You're frowning, Andy, or are you just thinking about your bit later?
I was thinking about my bit later.
All right.
Your bit's awesome.
Oh,
it's
good.
all going in and not even coming out.
Helga.
Okay, thanks. What about redundancy? You probably, or enterprises probably don't want just one of these boxes and that explodes, all of their desktops or whatever are gone. So how do you
Very good
address
question.
that?
So all 4 node clusters are internally redundant, so that if one node inside the 4 fails, and then we don't do redundancy at the moment between 4 nodes, so that is coming very soon, but you shouldn't need it unless you've got a specific workload or edge case for it.
So I missed that. Okay, so these are sold in packs of 4, in
Packs
sets of 4.
Yes. Yes. Like for instance, this super micro box with 4 sleds in it. Yeah.
Okay, I missed that, sorry.
That's all right. If you missed it, everybody else will miss it too, so I'm glad I went back over it. Anything else like that you want me to do, Helga, it's fine.
Or anyone else. It's not just about Helga. We're all in the room, yeah?
But wait a second, what if I want to buy 6 nodes because my compute requires 6 nodes?
Then you say, Jim, that completely configurable USX software that you supply.
What?
Completely
That is
configurable
crazy.
USX software you can buy.
Well, this is supportable bonds, right? Set bill of materials. If you come to me and say, I want 6 in this configuration or in a hyperscale way, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say go buy USX.
So you get the same software that runs on these
Absolutely.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
change
same
it.
generally
identical
available
software,
software.
and,
Yes.
and you can deploy it to your laptop or whatever.
Not to your laptop, however.
To 4 laptops.
You can deploy it on my laptop.
All laptops with enough memory and SSD, but yeah, I suppose so, why not?
Well, there's still simple volumes though, so he could do it to his laptop.
I'm not going to engage in with you right now. You are correct. And if anyone wants to know more about that later, talk to me. Yes, sir.
So I heard do you do compression as well?
So we do. So we have very good compression technology in our old Elio product, and we are currently in the middle of porting that to the USX product. So we do compression, but in this particular product, it's coming very soon.
And that's because he's an honest technologist. If you ask the marketing folks.
If you ask our marketing folks, they go, yeah, yeah. Oh shit.
We'll edit that bit out as well.
This is not just for a desktop workload. I know we're famous for doing desktops, but USX and HyperScale are for a complete generic workload. You can chuck whatever you want on here. This is a performance thing called HammerDB. Anybody heard about HammerDB?
Yeah.
Yes, Ruben?
Is this per VM or for the whole box?
So this is per VM. I have problems internally with this number, Ruben, and I will take that up with you, our new CTO, later.
Jim,
Again, in the edit.
is that per VM or per volume?
Per volume, so per USX VM.
So we can get 3 times that. on a
Yes.
4-node box.
Yes, in a
4-node
4-node box.
How's the education at Atlantis actually? Because the questions came from the audience.
Well, I knew the answer to the question.
Okay.
He, basically what Aaron is saying is, Jim, you're not explaining it right. Here's how to do it, yeah?
This is also our internal training. It is, yeah, no, we can play back to all the other SEs.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
This is how not to do it. Yeah.
Yeah? How many percent?
Oh, massively over.
I am perfect. Alright, there is a good reference architecture, so we pulled this slide up because it's desktop conference, so here's our desktop reference architecture. Cost density as low as $128 per desktop. Of course that's on Zen server because vSphere will cost you extra licenses. Well done, David, you have a free product with buyable options.
Why Zen desktop? Why Zen desktop?
High availability internal within the 4-node cluster. And installation experience. So if you get this, it lands on your desk at work, you're an end user, you plug your USB key in, you get this. You pick your hypervisor, you have a welcome screen. Looks like a Mac. It does look like a Mac, yes. But Macs have browsers too, so we're all good. You configure your infrastructure, assign your networking, and you have a summary. This was very difficult. All of us in this room can handle that installation routine.
Like 20 minutes of next finish.
Yeah. I'm particularly pleased by this because we used to have a very involved configuration, which was very powerful, but for some people it was too much. This is extremely simple and will stand
Do you
up
have
this.
names? For who was it too much?
No, I don't. I'm being recorded, Helga.
Are you guys setting
That's
this
why
up
it's
at
so
2 a.m.?
toned down, everybody who's watching the video.
So if it's USX that gets deployed out of the box, what is the configuration of the volumes that gets deployed automatically?
So the volumes are effectively a 1 terabyte raw volume, sorry, a 1.2 terabyte raw volume, which is equivalent to a 4 terabyte usable with the DG. Now, if you're doing USX, this is all configurable in terms of size and in terms of protocol, etc., etc. But being this is a set BOM, and we will produce 3 set volume sizes for you to use, and use as data stores or storage repositories, and they will be effective capacity 4 terabytes. Single point of support. If you have a problem with the hardware or the hypervisor or our software, you can call us in the first instance, and we will monitor all of the support. Now, obviously, we're not going to do Zen server support. Well, we can to a certain point, but we're not going to do the official Zen server support. But what we will do is we will make sure that we're
Yeah, when we can get hold of you.
yeah. If you pick up the phone. What we will do is we will make sure that we run with the support case to this resolution. We won't just hand off. Where it's available, 3-year, 4-hour parts replacement, and obviously Cisco, HP, Lenovo, Supermicro are quite good at shipping parts out and doing logistics and that sort of stuff. So, that's my bit, and let's see if your bit works.
Let's see if my bit works.
Because we're going to be short on content if it doesn't.
Who's after you?
Well, that's not good, is it?
We managed to screw up on the video.
Yeah. You had one job, Andrew. Don't be shit. And there we are. Oh, let's talk amongst yourselves.
So, he was a customer that thinks that HyperScale might be appropriate for. Now especially that Cisco's buying Nutanix. Sorry guys, just had to say that.
But wait, since Nutanix just released a community edition of their product, when Atlantis one's going to be up?
Well,
that's a very good question.
That's a very good question for a very good community-minded CTO who's just sitting in the back there, isn't that right? Ruben puts his thumb up, which I take as official Atlantis item that we're definitely going to do it.
So just to be clear, there has been a community edition of Ilio for years now.
There has been, but not for USX.
Correct.
And the community edition of Ilio was vSphere only as well. So I think we should do a little bit better than that and do a proper community edition.
Oh, no. Okay.
Yay!
Yay! Everybody ignore the... Don't just press play when I press play.
Yeah. I'll do that.
I don't need that bit. Okay, so here's this extravaganza part. We have a test environment, 4 Zen servers in a pool, high street baths. No, still no, it's for the inside, it's for you. 4 hosts, all with local storage, no shared storage at all. What we're going to show is Zen server being installed on it. Zen server being installed on it, Zen server is already installed on it. USX installed on the Zen server, there you go, a little bit of confusion there for David, it's all sorted now. Show you how easy it is, show you how easy it is to set up, install and configure. Because it's a question I get asked a lot. Can you put USX on Zen server? Andrew, yes. Here's how. Run VT. Alright, here I'm talking through the servers. What's the spec of these boxes? 8 vCPUs, 32
So this is
gig
not
RAM.
HyperScale, this is USX, right?
Yeah, this isn't HyperScale. Well, it could be. These could be boxes. In this instance, they're all virtual instances, virtual servers.
They're all
But away we go. So, find the OVF that you've downloaded, like Connor has, from the portal. It's an OVF file. It's the same OVF file, whether or not you're running ESX or whether or not you're running Zen server. We do some clever jiggery pokery to take that OVF, put it in Zen server. So we've just got one code base regardless of the platform. Right? Then you determine where you'd like to put it on, which network you'd like to make use of. And then you'll press
Next.
That's an awful lot of next.
This is an awful lot of next. So talk to your man at the back. You've been really good. Alright then, so then it imports. There is a little bit of editing here. It takes a little bit longer to do. It takes a couple of minutes in order to import. This is Zen Center 6.5. But pre-service pack 1. Pre-service pack 1. Import the appliance and then I go back a little bit faster maybe.
Oh, okay.
Slightly older release, and I press start. I'm sure all of this so far for the people in the room is relatively straightforward. Hands up if that's true. So like a bit of interaction there. And it'll come up. Now what it's going to ask me to do is put in IP address, give it some initial configuration. If you were doing this on ESX, then you get a very nice little logo. ESX interprets the OVF file and presents you with some information that's not available on Zen server today. I'm sure it's on a roadmap. I'm sure it'll happen within a year. If you're writing stuff down, that would be a thing to write down. You pop in a host name. Oh, I wish I'd type faster.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think I said no to this. Give it IP address, which should be 73 related. 192.168.173, 74.
Fast forward a bit.
Yeah, fast forward. This is really dull. Yeah, in my mind, this was much more interesting. Then it's up, then it'll start, and then I can connect to it via a web browser. Yeah. That's it. I'm good to go. Can I have my Zen server pool running USX? The answer is yes, and that's how easy it is to do. Don't necessarily have to go out and buy HyperScale, although we'd love it if you did. Where you can go and deploy it on your own environment tomorrow. Ideally with a community edition, which is coming within the year.
Thanks, Ruben.
Thanks, Ruben.
Much faster.
Much faster. Much faster than within a year.
I know. I like how you took that time frame there and didn't even bother with it. Just went, yep, I can make that. Log in via a web browser. There's now notes on how to put your own SSL certificate in. I don't do that today, so it'll come up with a bit of an error. Oh, more editing.
Yes.
It does a redirect.
It does a redirect. There we go. Bosh.
It's lovely having Dane in your presentation so he can correct you from the audience.
Yeah,
It's really helpful. Thank you, Dane.
Thank you, Dane. So that's that bit. Then how long have we got?
in my mouth.
8 minutes. Oh no. Oh yeah, 8 minutes. So what we'll do is, yes, you tee that up because I made a right hash of it last time. So that is available, and so dull that Pariah has to walk out.
Thank you. Thank you. Everybody noticed that I am.
I'm here till Friday. Try to bail.
Just say run VT when you
Yeah, run VT. So, run VT. These videos are available online. I've done a whole series, so that's one. Then setting up an initial environment is one. That's probably a bit close. Sorry about that. Then we've got some simple volumes. Oh no, not this one. Do the HA one.
Okay.
This clicking a finger. Come on.
It's alright. Sorry, hang on.
Dance,
sir.
monkey, dance.
God.
So you can see all of those online, but I've only got about 8 minutes left, so I'll give you one that's not been published yet. I'll give you the HA one. I'll give you the one where we've got 4 Zen servers, all with local storage, but maybe what I'd like to do is fail over HA between those using just local storage. We'll create a volume that spans everything, spans across here. We'll deploy some PDS instances to it. We'll enable HA, we'll show you HA, and we'll turn some stuff off. Yes? And it all worked. We did last time when I watched the video. Hey no. Here's why I'm talking to you. You can fast forward this bit a bit. This is me going, oh look, here's all of the things, because the ones that are online have got no audio on, but this one actually does.
There you go.
Because Rachel kept whinging that it was all in mine. So it's not in mine anymore. So here, although, pause just slightly, go back a little bit, please. I have deployed and configured my volumes. I've deployed a hyperconverged volume. It's an infrastructure volume.
Pause there.
Yeah, so an infrastructure volume in which I put my actual volumes that users use. That allows me to have HA, high availability, on both the volume and the infrastructure volume that's supported. We're not relying on Zen server here at all. Our own appliances communicate with each other and work out whether or not they're online. And if they're not online, the alternative one, the HA one, the HA appliance comes online instead.
So this is a clever way to get around the fact that HA is a prerequisite for shared storage. Because if our shared storage is on local storage, then you try and do HA on that, it doesn't work, right? So you have to do something really clever in the background to make sure everything kind of has some shared storage as a prerequisite for the HA, and that's this.
So in deploying USX volumes, there's a number of different components that all get delivered. You don't have to configure any of that. You just say, I want a hyperconverged appliance. USX will go and deploy all of those components for you, bring them online, then you check a box that says, I want that to be HA, please, because we appreciate manners. And it will deploy all of those components as well. Network it all up, you define the networking environment, define what networks are available. All of that's automated, all of that's done. And here, I've turned off one of the volumes, just forced it power off. And what will happen in here is it'll recognize, so nothing to do with Zen Server, or if it was ESX, USX, HA, this is all done within the application. One, it'll go degraded, then it'll go offline, and the other one will come online. All automatic, all automated. If there were workloads on it, there'd be a bit of a pause. Something's happened, something's odd, but it wouldn't crash. There you go, it's come back online. A couple of seconds. Although that is a bit easy, there's no workloads on that. Bit of a simple one, not a great test, sure, and it's worked, but what happens if we actually put some load on? Let's fast forward a bit. Okay. Stick some PVS instances on. Hands up if you've never seen PVS being deployed. Never. Oh, yes. Good Lord.
Fast forward a bit.
Yeah, fast forward this. This is more exciting in the audio. So that's deployed now. So we've got a number of different desktop instances. They're all being turned on. Oh, well, yeah, put this first. All right. So we've got some PVS instances here, just some Windows desktops. We're going to use Zen Server's own HA to protect those. Just a little bit further on. Obviously, they're doing that PVS thing, yeah, they turn on, sort themselves out, turn off again. Leaving 2, because that's in my machine catalog, deployment group rather, as to how many's going to be on. Maintenance mode, no, I forgot where to go, high availability, set all of those to restart. All familiar? Yes? All good? Any questions so far? Why can't I go faster? It's a video.
Are you still on time?
No, we're more out some time. Yeah. 4 minutes. We've got 3 minutes.
3 minutes. And we'll finish in 3 minutes, Alex.
We will
keep your agenda clean and running perfect.
As it always does. Right, so these are all set up, HA's available, HA's configured, and what I'm going to do is turn off one of the hosts once it's started, otherwise that's not much of a test.
The nice thing about this test is it's if there was a worse host to turn off with the most stuff on it, this would be it.
Yeah, so this has got some workload on it. It's got a volume on it, so it's actually presenting the storage, and it's got a backup volume on it as well. And I'm just going to turn it off.
In a brave manner.
In a brave and slightly slower manner than I anticipated when I stood up. There you go.
Do you want me to go forward a bit?
Yeah, go on then.
So this is interesting. So before Zen Server or Zen Center is reporting that server's off, we know it's off because our heart beating has told us that everything has gone away on that server.
No, yeah. Did I turn off 4? Which one did I turn off? No, I haven't turned it off yet.
Oh. It's still the case.
Go on, carry on. There. Go back a little. So this is now turned off. Now if we go, we've gone too far. This is just me showing off the environment. Did you avert your eyes there, David, with the Zen Server pool running on top of a VDirect?
Andrew, I also avert my eyes when you raise a ticket saying it doesn't work.
Explain why it takes so long to get some support around here then. So I've turned this off, whoops, and the Black Hat instances have moved to a different server because that's what should happen. There you go, I'm powering off the instance so you can see it. Jim's right, we actually understand and find out that the volumes are degraded before it gets reported in Zen Center. But we're communicating directly between the bits. Zen Center's got some stuff going on.
Yes.
That's
no criticism of Zen Center.
Absolutely not at all.
Definitely not.
No. And now they're up and running. So, with USX on a pool of Zen servers, just with local storage, we can enable HA for our desktops or our server workloads, because obviously Zen Server does server workloads as well. Even if it's running on physical tin, as opposed to running on ESX. This isn't a video yet, it will be a video, and then there'll be some other ones showing some other HA capabilities as well. We'll do volumes where you can just use RAM. We'll do volumes where you can just use RAM. So RAM from each of your Zen server hosts being presented as a storage room.
Thank you very much.
Any questions?
In the box.